Imagine a Super Mario game that was so physical, intense, and full of chaos that Nintendo actually had to pull the plug before they even released it. That game was Super Mario Spikers. It was a mix between volleyball, wrestling, and complete chaos. Now look, it was never officially announced or even released to the public, but those who got to see the concept art and the leaked footage, it's one of the craziest what-ifs in gaming that Nintendo actually never gave us. It's one of the wildest what could have been games in Nintendo's entire history. Let's dive into the untold story of a game that could have been, but wasn't, that's Super Mario Spikers. What it was, how it got started, who was behind it, and why Nintendo decided to pull the plug before it even got released. To understand how Super Mario Spikers came to be, we first have to meet the team behind it. That's Next Level Games. That was a Canadian studio that already had worked with Nintendo before. They made Super Mario Strikers, not Spikers, for the GameCube in 2005. And its later sequel, Mario Strikers Charged, for the Wii in 2007. These weren't your typical Mario sports games. These were aggressive, stylish, and full of electric tackles and over-the-top special moves. These games were successful, they sold well, and had a passionate fan base. Nintendo seemed happy, so Next Level Games says, what's next? And that's where Super Mario Spikers was born. And it started development around 2006-2007, right after Strikers Charged was finished. At first, it was going to be a Mario volleyball game, simple, fun, and family friendly. Volleyball hadn't yet been featured in a Mario sports game yet, and the Wii was perfect for a system for motion-controlled sports games. But Next Level's games didn't want to just make a regular volleyball game. They had just finished Strikers, a game where Mario characters smashed each other into electric fences. So naturally, they wanted to bring that same energy into a new project, and it didn't stop at volleyball. As development continued, wrestling elements were added, grabs, throws, ground slams, and full-on physical attacks. The game became a hybrid of volleyball and pro wrestling. The characters were loud, aggressive, and dramatic. Think WWE meets Mushroom Kingdom. Here's what the game was planned to include: 3D courts for interactive elements, 2-on-2 gameplay for co-op support, special moves that include slamming and spining opponents, crowd reactions, taunts, and dramatic animations, and most importantly, a mix of sports and violence. If you've ever wondered what it would look like if Mario body slammed Bowser into the floor after missing a serve, this was it. Now, although Spikers was never officially revealed, we have actual proof that it existed. Years later, concept art and internal design documents were leaked online. Even a prototype animation reel was discovered, showing Luigi being tackled and animations for spiking a volleyball. The concept art is wild. Wario in a wrestling mask and boots, Mario mid-air winding up a killer spike, Donkey Kong slamming Toad with an elbow drop, courts with lights, ropes, and ropes like a wrestling ring. The game's art style was bold and exaggerated, just like Strikers. This wasn't the soft, colorful Mario you see in Mario Party. This was Mario in a steel cage. These materials gave fans a glimpse into what would have been if the most unique Mario spin-off was ever made. So exactly why was it cancelled? It wasn't because it was buggy, it wasn't because it wasn't finished, it wasn't because it wasn't fun. It was because Nintendo didn't like the tone. According to a former Next Level developer, Nintendo allowed the game to start development without full approval. As the game became more violent and wrestling focused, Nintendo got nervous. Mario had always been family friendly, even in sports games. Now, Mario Kart had shells and banana peels, but no real pain. Even Smash Bros, for all of its action, had a toy-like charm, but Mario Spikers had full body slams, headlocks, and beatdowns. The line between cartoon violence and actual aggression was getting blurry. Nintendo reviewed the project and denied it. It didn't fit the Mario brand. Even though it was still early in development, Nintendo refused to give it the green light. In interviews, the staff of Next Level actually said the game was shut down because Nintendo had a code of honor for Mario. He could jump on Goombas, but he couldn't wrestle Yoshi in a steel cage match. Development started around late 2006, and the game was quietly cancelled around early 2007. That means Super Mario Spikers was only in development for a few months. It's never reached a full point of being shown publicly, and no official screenshots or footage has ever been released by Nintendo. The only reason we actually even know about it is because former developers leaked concept art, and interviews later confirmed actually what happened behind the scenes. It's been almost 2 decades since Super Mario Spikers was cancelled, so could it ever return? The answer is probably no, or at least in the same form as it was originally planned. Nintendo is more careful than ever with the Mario brand, and while recent games like Mario plus Rabbids and Mario Strikers Battle League shows that Nintendo is open to experimentation, they still keep things in a playful, non-violent tone. They said that the idea of Mario Volleyball is still alive. Fans have been asking for a Mario Volleyball game for years. We've seen many versions in games like Mario Party, but never a full-fledged title. So while Mario Spikers may never return with wrestling and smackdowns, a cleaner, sillier Mario Volleyball game is always a possibility. Now, even though it was cancelled, Super Mario Spikers still left a mark on fans and developers alike. It showed that Mario games didn't always have to be a play it safe type of situation. It showed that even Nintendo was willing, at least for a moment, consider truly something different. And for next level games, it was an important part of their journey. They went on to work with Nintendo again and were eventually acquired by Nintendo in 2021. They now make games like Luigi's Mansion 3, which kept their bold style but stayed within the Mario family friendly vibe. Spikers may have been cancelled, but its energy is boldless. It can still be felt in games like Mario Strikers Battle League, Luigi's Mansion 3, and even parts of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. It's a reminder that sometimes even canceled games shape the future. Super Mario Spikers has become a cult legend in the world of unreleased games. When footage first surfaced, fans were blown away. People still post on forums like Reddit and NeoGAF saying, "Why did Nintendo let this happen? We need Mario Wrestling game now." This was a missed opportunity. Fan or YouTube videos and what if discussions still pop up all the time. Some fans have even tried to remake it themselves in games like Roblox or even mods for other volleyball games. To this day, it stands next to the infamous canceled titles like Star Wars 1313, Silent Hill, and Mega Man Legends 3. Super Mario Spikers wasn't canceled because it was broken, bad, or unfinished. It broke Nintendo's rules. It crossed the line between fun and fierce, a line that Nintendo wasn't ready to let Mario cross just yet. But in doing so, it became something so rare, a shadow of what could have been. A peek into a universe of where Mario wasn't just a plumber, but a wrestler, a fighter, and a spiker. Now, even though we never physically got to play it, Super Mario Spikers still lives on, as one of the wildest, boldest, and fascinating games Nintendo has never released. Catch you on the next one.